And we start with Stacey Champion. Her day job is public relations, but her mission these last few years has been holding accountable Arizona Public Service and the officials we elect as APS's watchdogs for a rate increase APS got 2 years ago. Today, she is on the verge of winning a refund for customers and perhaps even more. Welcome back to Square Off.
Thank you so much for having me.
So nobody likes higher electric bills. What was it about that 2017 increase that set you off?
Well, as a single mom and a small business owner, I pay attention to my energy bills. And I had followed the whole rate hike proceeding. Originally, staff and RUCO, who's supposed to be the consumer watchdog, recommended that there shouldn't be any rate hike and, in fact, a potential decrease in rates. So after they approved what was supposed to be a $95 million rate hike, I was, of course, paying attention to my bills.
And so in percentage terms, what was that rate hike supposed to be on the average customer?
What all of the press releases said that went out by both the Arizona Corporation Commission and APS was a 4.5% or $6 a month average on your bills.
4.5%. What did you find looking at your own bill and after research?
When I started looking at my own bill, even though I'm not great at math, I was coming up with anywhere from 10 to 13% higher when I was also using far less energy both on and off peak.
Okay, so you saw a problem. How did you figure out that you could actually do something about this or try to?
So Ryan Randazzo, who covers the CorpCom and all of this for the Arizona Republic, had written a story. I believe it was maybe in October or so of 2018. And in that story, he talked about a statute that allowed for 25 customers to petition over the justness and reasonableness of the rates.
So state law allows just 25 people out of APS's 1 million customers to say, we want this heard again. We want another look at this.
Right.
Is that right?
It was basically the complaint was to the justness and reasonableness of the rate.
So you get many more signatures on the petition. You begin to raise money on a kind of GoFundMe account.
Correct. Yeah.
And you realize, I need some lawyers here. I need some help.
Right. Yeah. So I submitted the complaint, the formal complaint, with 425 signatures on January 3rd of 2018. And then started trying to wrap my brain around how big of a thing this really was that I'd gotten myself into. When I began it, I guess wasn't thinking about the fact that, like, hey, you're taking on the state's largest multi-billion-dollar utility monopoly.
And they have lawyers, they have experts, they have a whole bunch of things, and you've got yourself and your band of brothers and sisters trying to take it on. Now,
right.
I want to pause here. So you've raised about $20,000.
Yep.
Okay. So much of what happened to the Corporation Commission and with APS is wrapped up in politics. So I have to ask, have you in any way been supported by APS's opponents or competitors financially or otherwise in pursuing this rate review?
No.
Not at all?
Not at all.
Not a dime?
Unless there are people who have contributed to the crowd fund that I'm not aware of, but most of those contributions are like $20 to $200.
Okay, so you make it all the way to the Super Bowl, basically.
Yeah.
This past week, you were in front of the Corporation Commission. APS was on the other side, and you argued, there was an argument over what should happen. Right now, it appears a judge who oversaw this and made a recommendation to the Corporation Commission is saying APS should give a $5 million credit to its 1 million customers. Is that right?
Yes, based on the fact that they were basically given an extra $5 million to educate the customers over the rate increase, which Judge Rada basically said because that wasn't effective, people should have that money back. It's a drop in the bucket, and the main issue is you can't educate yourself out of a flawed rate design.
Right, so the judge kind of agreed with you. Is that fair to say? Is that how you look at it?
Well, she recommended that the complaint be dismissed, so I don't know that I would go that far, but she did say that their the way that they educated over the rate hike was ineffective.
And APS even admits that. They say they understand this was too complicated for most consumers.
I think it's too complicated for everyone unless you're an energy expert.
Okay, so awaiting a corporation commission on whether to give folks that $5 million credit or do something else.
Yes, I mean, my goal still today is for a complete do-over of the rate hike. Because of the large amount of money that was put into the campaigns of the commissioners who are still there, who did vote yes on it, because that 4.5% is in reality a 12.5% increase.
All right.
So,
Stacey Champion, congratulations. You've come a long way. I know it was a lot of hard work. Thank you so much for joining us.
thank you so much for having me.